Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the increased potential for a storm to hit parts of the UK this weekend. It's not 100% certain, but the chances are increasing, and we could even possibly see our first named storm, so let's get into it. This is a quick graphic I made. It's quite rushed, as you can probably tell. I just made it in maybe 5 minutes or so after looking through some of the models, and it kind of shows some of the routes that the storm might take, just to give you kind of an idea of what we could be looking at before I kind of get into each of the model runs. And you can see that we'll start off with the lowest chance here. If I get rid of let me get rid of this. We start off with the lowest chance here, as you can see, the low chance, which is the red line, kind of taking a track through parts of kind of Cornwall, then through South Wales, Midlands, and through into Northern England. This has kind of got the lowest chance at the moment, even though it is kind of in between the other two sides of the solution, and that is because kind of no models are really showing this at the moment, but we'll have to see what happens as we get closer to the time. The only kind of indication this might happen is a few of the ensemble members kind of the GFS and ECMWF. So moving on to the next one, then we have the medium chance. This is the yellow arrow. You can see this will kind of be taking a track through the Irish Sea, in them kind of making landfall, if you like, around parts of Scotland, and then moving into parts of northern and eastern Scotland. This kind of got a medium chance, like I just said, with models like the ARPEG, the ECM, and the GEM models kind of showing this. By the way, I mean, when I say the ECM, the actual kind of operational run of that wasn't showing this. It was kind of showing a solution more like this, but on the whole, as I'll get into a little bit later, all of kind of the ensemble members say this is more likely, and this would kind of bring more widespread strong winds, and possibly some very strong winds to kind of parts of more northern areas. And then the highest chance at the moment, this is still a few days away, we're kind of looking at Saturday, Sunday right now, is kind of this green line kind of taking a kind of a way through, making landfall around southern England and making its way kind of through East Anglia, southeast England, then going to the North Sea, but possibly curving around and maybe affecting northern areas a bit later on. And you can see this has got kind of most models, for example, the UKV, the ICON, the GFS, the WRF, and kind of facts charts. And so that's kind of one thing. And if I move on to the facts charts, which I was just talking about, this is for Saturday, midnight on Saturday, and you can see here, this is the area we need to watch. This is our frontal zone, and we have warm air on the south side here, and cold air on the north side here, and this is kind of the baroclinic development zone. And watch what happens as we kind of move off in time scales, is that you can see this deepens then quite a lot in just 12 hours. I think maybe 13-14 millibars. I can't remember what the last pressure was. And you see, then it's not included yet. We still have our warm sector, our cold front, or like the cold air behind it. And you can see kind of moving, making its way like this. And then in another 12 hours, it does actually rapidly deepen. So quite quick and intense kind of cyclogenesis is forecast from the system. And as you can see, for example, on this kind of metal facts charts, this is kind of the solution that we be looking at here. So right now, the areas at the highest chance of seeing the strong winds are probably eastern and southeastern England. And note, this will have quite a lot of weather fronts as well, particularly cold fronts. So it could be quite a lot of rain, especially if the cold front kind of drags along the motion of the storm. We could get kind of some overhang of rain, but it's going to move through quite quickly, so the rain won't be there for too long. If we look at some models on wixcharts.com, I'll start with the GFS. You can see here, let me get the black pen out. You can see here, this is kind of the current situation. Black lines show the isobars, the lines of equal pressure. Colours show precipitation. You can see if I run it through it like this, this is our little area that we need to watch. And you can kind of just imagine the jet stream over this, allowing it to deepen fairly rapidly. And you can see the precipitation off to the north, northeast and eastern side. And you can watch what happens as it kind of makes land along the south coast. You can see that we have kind of lots of rain. By the way, this would be about 3 o'clock on Saturday. Lots of rain. And you can see winds will be fairly intense. The ice bars are quite tight, and then this is kind of quite a reasonable solution for the deepening that we could see, as there has been quite a lot of uncertainty in how quickly this will deepen, where it will rapidly deepen, because stuff like explosive deepening, like bombogenesis and the jet stream, are all very sensitive topics. You can see on this kind of example, we could be seeing maybe kind of 60 to 70 mile an hour winds moving through parts of eastern and southeastern England, like along coastal areas in eastern and southeastern England, and then kind of maybe 50 to 55 miles an hour winds more kind of widely inland on this scenario. If I go to a different model, I'll go to the ECMWF. Actually, I'm not going to go to the ECMWF. I'll go to the icon. The icon kind of shows a more kind of weaker and conservative scenario, whereas you can see we see winds kind of start to pick up, then they never really have kind of much impact in southern and southeastern areas. A bit windier up north, but the strongest winds stay out to sea. That's an interesting kind of thing there. And then if we look at another model, let's look at this model. This is kind of the medium chance solution I was showing you earlier. As you can see, okay, as you can see like this is a chance kind of to the track through the IRC like this, and you can see quite widespread 50 to 55 mile an hour winds, and then potential for some very strong winds inland across parts of northern England and Scotland, and then again through parts of Scotland again. That's another scenario. And if we look at the Canadian model, you can see similar sort of kind of idea on that one as well. Let me just run through like this. You can see same sort of idea on that model as well. So I'm going to take a look at kind of the GEFS, so the GFS ensembles, and kind of the different solutions we could be seeing. And you can see now the confidence is high, we will see low pressure, but there is still quite a lot of uncertainty regarding kind of intensity, that kind of thing. And you can see running through, there is most of these kind of show the bluish range, so probably around 980 millibars. A couple of them kind of get into the purple range of this one here, you're kind of going through, you kind of get a sense for what could happen, like this one here also shows the purple, and most of them generally have kind of a track like this, kind of like this, and then some of them have a track more like that. This one's kind of like that in the middle one. So this is kind of the kind of different solutions we could see for kind of Saturday, Sunday. But generally, the agreement has increased, though there's kind of time changes. This is the UKV, the Met Office model from theweatheroutlook.com. This is one potential scenario scenario that could happen. You can see strong winds in the channel kind of transferring in this direction, and maybe 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts inland before the kind of this sort of moves out kind of like this, but kind of 40 to 50 mile an hour inland across parts of southeastern England. I think this may be a bit conservative, but you never know. And I'm also going to quickly show you the ECMWF ensembles. Each of these different kind of circles show different atmospheric pressure, and you can tell the location. And so this is for Saturday at 12 o'clock, and you can see there's actually quite a wide range at this time for where the low may be, with kind of the general consensus in kind of the 985 range like this, a few a bit lower. And you can see right now kind of the tracks are fairly varied on this, though I kind of would say that these southern solutions are a bit more likely. And note that we do actually even have further south solutions as well. And then what happens next on the ECMWF model is that we actually get better agreement then on this kind of 965 to 975 millibars, more concentrated around kind of northeastern Scotland, and that's why I was saying earlier that this track on the ECMWF is more favourable, though I do think that it might be kind of a bit on the southern side of that, so that maybe we see kind of southeastern England brought into this a bit more just because of kind of other models like the GFS, that sort of thing. So we'll have to see what happens over the next few days. And like I said, it could be a bit rainy. So this is kind of the rainfall accumulations. I'll show you the UKV model. You can see kind of picking up in places through Saturday, especially along the south coast, and then also Wales and the Lake District, northwest England. And then for day 3, kind of more wet in parts of southeast England again, like this. Let's get the pen up. Southeast England like this, and then also kind of parts of very far parts of southern Scotland, but kind of England, northern England, the Midlands. So that will be the end of the video for today. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, stay tuned, because we could be seeing our first named storm of this season. Bye!